My dad didn't even try to speak softly. Do we really have to stand next to a woman who looks like she's living on the street? He said, smiling too big and speaking loud enough for the people around us to hear. My brother Ethan leaned closer. Sarah, don't make me look bad, he warned. These folks are way better than you. I stayed right where I was, the borrowed high heels hurting my feet, and my simple black coat not fitting well. People looked at me, then quickly looked away. It was a smooth, well-practiced way of ignoring me. Nobody stood up for me. To them, I was the daughter who had disappeared and messed up everything. A few guests let out thin, careful laughs. My stepmother, Laura, stood a few feet away with her frozen smile, fiddling with her bracelet as if she could stop my shame from reaching her. Dad straightened his tie and turned to a couple by the bar, already boasting about his latest business deal, like the rude comment was just a starting point. Ethan caught my eye from across the room, giving me that familiar look. Stay small. Stay silent. The ballroom sparkled. Crystal chandeliers hung overhead. Old oil paintings lined the walls, and a huge Christmas tree was covered in decorations. Snow fell gently outside the tall windows, quiet and uncaring. Walking out would have been simple. That's what the old version of me would have done. Give in, say sorry, and vanish. But I didn't. I walked over to the window and pressed my hands against the cold glass. Under my sleeve, my watch ticked steadily, like a heartbeat. A waiter walked by with champagne trays, his eyes skipping over me. I didn't ask for any. That's when Alexander Hart walked in. His name was printed on the invitation, like an official stamp. People turned toward him without even realizing it. My dad hurried over to him near the bar, hand extended, trying hard to be charming. Alexander shook his hand, nodded once, then looked right past Dad's shoulder, directly at me. He excused himself and started coming my way. Alexander crossed the ballroom with the kind of confidence that made others straighten up. As he got closer, the conversations quieted down without anyone saying why. He stopped in front of me. Sarah, he said, making my name sound strong and calm. My dad quickly moved in next to him, smile locked in place. You two know each other? He asked way too loud. Alexander glanced at him, polite for a moment, then clearly surprised. Yes, he said. She is my boss. The room went silent. Someone held a glass frozen in the air. My dad blinked. I'm sorry. Sarah Thompson is the managing partner of Hart Capital, Alexander explained. Majority owner. He turned his gaze back to me. It was an offer of support, not a shield. That's right, I said. It's true. Ethan moved closer, his face going pale. Laura's smile finally broke. My dad's throat moved as he swallowed hard. Hart Capital, he repeated, like he was trying out a name he'd been chasing for years. That's your firm, Alexander. It was, Alexander said. Now it's hers. My dad reached for his champagne glass. His hand trembled, so he put it down too quickly, making a sharp clink. You never told us, he said, as if that was the real problem. You told me not to come back, until I was somebody important, I answered. So I didn't come back. Whispers started spreading. People pulled out their phones. A waiter finally offered me a glass of champagne, suddenly very attentive. I took it but didn't sip. At the front of the hall, someone was testing a microphone. One empty tap, then another. Alexander stepped closer, steady beside me. There's a toast coming up soon, he said quietly. If you want to go, just say. Under my sleeve, my watch kept its calm rhythm. I'm staying, I said. Tonight finishes the right way. Alexander nodded once, and together we turned toward the room that suddenly didn't know how to act. The microphone gave a quick squeal, and my dad climbed onto the stage like he could rise above the new tension in the air. His smile came back in bits and pieces. Family, he started, voice heavy, is what matters most. Someone let out a cough that sounded like a laugh. Ethan stared at the floor. Dad raised his glass. I'm proud that my daughter made it home, he said. And the lie sat there between us like a decoration in the center. I felt my watch tick against my skin, marking all the years he'd gone without calling. A man near the front asked in a polite but sharp way, Mr. Thompson, did you know that Miss Thompson runs Hart Capital? Dad's jaw tightened. We've been apart, he managed to say. By choice, I added, and my voice traveled farther than I thought it would. Heads turned. The room went quiet again. I didn't look at Alexander. I didn't have to. I left because I was told to fit in or get erased, I said. I chose neither. Laura made a small, upset noise, defending the story she'd helped create. I stepped forward, not to take the stage, but to stop the act. I'm not here to punish anybody, I said. I'm here because I'm tired of making myself smaller. If you want to know me, get to know the real me now. If you don't, that's okay. My dad's eyes looked shiny, like a mix of fear and regret. Sarah, he started. I raised my hand gently. Time is the only thing you can't buy back, I told him. Then I took off my watch and placed it in his hand. He stared at it like it was a final decision. Outside, the snow kept falling, quiet and fresh. Alexander and I walked out together. Behind us, the chandeliers still sparkled. But they didn't control my shine anymore.